Hello, Battleborn. These are the legendary items you can earn when you run Void's Edge, the second story mode, after the prologue, that is. The first boss you encounter is Warlord Nyx, and if you run Void's Edge in normal mode, you have a chance of dropping the Sentinel reset switch, which gives you reduced buildable cost, bonus shards per second, and then your tier 3 buildables get an extra 42 shield recharge per second. And buildables also have a recharge delay of 5 seconds, just like players do. But when it does recharge, it recharges 42 shield per second faster, which is kind of nice. When you run that in advanced mode, Warlord Nyx has a chance of dropping the Veil Manipulator, which gives you bonus shards per second, skill damage, and then you gain up to 10.5 health per second at 1,000 shards. So basically, however many shards you have on hand depends on how much health you get, and it scales. So it's basically 1 health per 10 shards, roughly. So that's what you get from advanced mode for Warlord Nyx. Next boss is the Conservator. This is the final boss of Void's Edge. On normal mode, you have a chance of getting an EPR SG12 Wolf Skin. Gives you shield recharge per second, shield penetration as a secondary, and then it reduces your knockback distance by 50%. In other words, you can't get knocked back as much. Now, if you've played Melee in Battleborn, you'll realize that you get knocked back quite a bit, so this could actually be quite helpful to not be pushed away from your target, because this will reduce the knockback effect of people's quick attacks, bosses' knockbacks, etc. So it allows, for a melee particularly, it allows you to not be knocked back, so that you have to always try and clear that gap again. So it's actually quite nice. The second item it can possibly drop is the Bliss Beast Skull Plate. It has a damage reduction, health regen per second as a secondary, and then if you are struck on a single attack that does at least 15% or more of your health, including shield. So in other words, you can take 50% if you have 1,000 health and 300 shield, and all of a sudden you can take 300 damage, which removes your shield, but you haven't taken any health damage. You will still proc because that 300 damage is more than the 15% of your total health. So when you take 15% of your total health, you gain 28 health regen per second for 10 seconds. So which is nice. But the bigger your health pool, the harder it is for this to proc. The smaller your health pool, then this procs more often. Alright, in advanced mode, you have the Varelsi Conservator. The first item that drops is a Void Resonator, and this is in advanced mode. And heal power is primary, with a shield recharge per second as a secondary, and then you heal yourself for 7% of the healing done to allies. Now, this does not affect things that are auras. So Kid Ultra's right augment aura doesn't proc, Kleese's heal chair doesn't proc, that sort of thing. But what it does do is it procs on direct heals. Also, I don't think it procs on Beatrix's when you apply Patient Zero to somebody else. Just because they heal themselves with your skill, I think that only applies to them. It wasn't a direct heal. So a direct heal is what this happens, procs on. So it would be a healing drone, or it would be a sunspot, or it would be a heal beam, etc. But it does heal you for 7% of the healing done abroad. So you might want to consider this with Miko. Instead of heal thyself to take on a second, he likes to take the left side on it, and you can end up healing everybody through biosynthesis, and then you get another 7%. That'd be good to check out. Now, the Long Goodbye is the second item you can get from advanced mode, and this one is interesting. Whenever you get the shield recharge and cooldown, but on death, your shield explodes and does 410 damage to nearby enemies. Now, if you expect to die a lot, or let's say you're running story mode where dying isn't such a big deal because you can be revived, this is actually not bad because it can do an AoE blast, destroy the enemies around you so that somebody can actually come and res you. So if you think of it that way, you're just allowing yourself to be rezzed a lot easier in the event that you die. So there you go. Those are the items you can get from Void's Edge. Hope you enjoy it.